Shalom, people. This is Brother Lyles coming at you with another video. I want to talk about some things that's going on in the current news that I think are very relevant to us as Hebrews worldwide, and also to me are indicators of uh, where we're at prophetically, as pertaining to how close is the return of Yeshua, our King, and the fulfillment of the awakening of our people, the significance of the things that I think that we need to pay close attention to, and also um, think we need to be very prayerful about. First thing of significance to me that we need to really pay close attention to, and I think is of great significance to us. Our unity is the Botham Shem murder trial that is starting this Monday in Dallas, where our brother Botham Shem John was murdered by Dallas off-duty Dallas police officer Amber Geiger. Um, me and my wife have, when it happened uh, over a year ago, we committed ourselves every night to pray first and foremost that um, he, uh, that he would get that his family would get justice against the Dallas police officer and the Dallas police, because obviously we know that the police departments in that state are pulling for her to win. But also we committed ourselves to pray for the young lady Bunny Babs that released the videotape showing Amber Geiger walking up and down the hallway on her phone while Botham Shem was in there bleeding out. We've been praying for her that Most High Yah would protect her, that Most High Yah would provide for her because of her being ostracized by a people, Caucasian people, for exposing, what a lot of people wouldn't have ever known if she hadn't filmed that on phone, and also that her testimony and that the video that she released would help put Amber Geiger away for life without the possibility of parole. So I'm believing that that this trial, once Amber Geiger is sentenced, and I'm believing that she's gonna be proven guilty and sentenced. I think this should this should be a turning point for us as black people, that the wheels of heavenly justice is starting to move in our favor, and that uh, symbols of people and different things that has been used to overcome us, those symbols having no power anymore, that the Most High Yah, because we we are on the downside of the 400 years, that the Most High Yah is going to start moving in our favor in situations like this, and that we should take heart and take courage. Once they say guilty, that we should thank the Most High. I mean, I'm already seeing it in my mind. I'm seeing her being uh, 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 getting that guilty verdict and also being sentenced, and to see the faces on the Botham Shem's family when they can say, you know, that their son, our brother, has got justice, and that this will send shock waves in the spiritual realm also, that um, the devil's plan to keep us um, in this perpetual state of miscarriages of justice is coming to an end. Because remember, when Yeshua had the unjust sentence on him when he didn't do anything, remember everything that we allowed or we pushed to happen to him, he has allowed it to happen to us. That's, to me, that's gonna be a sign that we on the other side of the 400 years, and the Most High Yah saying, okay, your sentence of unjust sentences as punishment for what you, how you use a kangaroo court to sentence my son. Now those things are over. When you go before the justice system in any nation, and you are not guilty, you will you will not be put in jail. And on the other hand, if the nations are guilty of doing unjust things to you, instead of them being getting off, that they will get the sentence that they are supposed to get here, and it's not gonna be no more Tamir Rice's situations where the police just roll up and shoot you on the spot, and then they just let the police go. I'm believing that that's gonna be what's gonna happen in this case, and that she will be proven to be guilty. But I'm praying also that not only her, but the Dallas Police Force and the Texas State Rangers, who tried to make it seem like it was just an accident, that something will come out in court to show that they have been trying to manipulate the situation and let her get off, and that uh, this will be a wake up call to all those for years that's been saying, oh, y'all black people, y'all just be making stuff up. That obviously we know that this woman knew where she was at, and that she really thought that she was actually gonna get not even a slap on the wrist, that it was just gonna be called an accidental discharge. This had to be the Most High Yah period that let this thing even go to trial. They didn't want it to go to trial. They could have just as easily just overruled it, but we thank the Most High Yah that he didn't let that happen. The second thing of significance that I think we need to pay attention to is the thing with the Saudi oil field being blown up supposedly by Yemenis terrorists that that were funded by Iran. Whether or not they were the ones that did that act, we know this is the second incident. We know the first incident that happened a few months ago was when Iran shot down that $160 million American drone that they said was into their territory, which they by right could do. That America did not like that, not just for the fact that this was a very expensive piece of military hardware, but also, you know, even though it was pilotless, they don't take that lightly. That's almost like a person shooting a police dog. You know, sometimes a person can shoot a police dog and they can give you as much time as if you shot a human, because they consider that dog to be a actual policeman. Well, that's what these drones are. Even though they're pilotless, they don't have any pilots. That's an act of aggression, just as if you would have shot down a American plane with a pilot in it. So this is the second incident with whether or not they did it, or it was American CIA operatives, or you know, posing as terrorists to get another war started in the Middle East. Who knows? The American intelligence agency said it was launched from Iran, but I don't really believe that, because if it had, they would definitely be at war with them. I think it was another outside forces that provoked this. But even still, we know that the Bible says that Yah would put a hook in the mouths of the nations and draw them back over into that region of the world, because he want He gonna give them what they want. The powers that be, the unseen forces that control all this, they are ready to wage a war with Yah because they believe that they got enough technological weapons to fight against them. All these wars and stuff that we have going around the world, that's just their way of generating money to fund their weapons to, for the real fight that they want. They want to get another shot, supposedly at Yah, just like at the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel was not just man rebellion against Yah, but it was actually through the fallen angel technology, actually trying to supposedly uh, get up to heaven and pull Yah down and put Satan back in the seat. So this is what they believe that they can do. They're going around to generate all kinds of problems to get uh, Ezekiel, the war with Persia and all this to get it started, up, and so that this will cause issues. So we should keep our eye on that because I don't believe it. I believe the third one is gonna be it. If something else happened, I do believe if uh, which is the third thing I want to talk about is this coming recession. They said when this coming recession happens, this is gonna be like no other recession that they have had in a long time, probably on par with the Great Depression. I believe if that happens next year, that they'll have no choice but to go to war because wars is how you generate revenue to pay back the creditors all the money that you are getting while the country is going through. And this country's been in an economic depression for a long. Even if we have rose up, this country's economic uh, 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 engine is not like it was in a long time. I believe just like coming out of the Great Depression, what did they have out right after that? They had World War II. World War II was the bankers and all those trying to get their money back and also get the blood that the devil, because the devil requires a sacrifice. He gives these people all this money and power and everything, and his price is blood. And wars create blood, and that's how he gets his payment. And so that's why I believe that we're very, very close uh, to all these things kicking off. And also we have the judgments of the Most High Yah that are still going on that they're just not reporting on anymore because they're so numerous. From time to time they'll do a headline on them, but then they'll cover it all under global warming when it actually is the Most High Yah, because they control Satan as the prince of the power of the airway. We could be going through the bowl judgments and don't even know it because they have compartmentalized us so much. That's why you gotta be born again and you not gotta be filled with the Spirit so that you'll know in the spirit, whether they reporting it on the news or not, that something is happening. I'll tell you an experience of mine. Hold on for a minute. Get a drink of water here. An experience that I had back in 2001, months before 9/11 happened. Okay, so I was working the night shift at this telecommunications factory. We made fiber optic cable, and so I was, I'm a Christian back then. I'm a believer, and it was we used to have a Bible study though late at night, a little short Bible study. It wasn't long because our lunch was only 30 minutes, but we would have a little short Bible study and a little short scripture reading. And so at the beginning, whoever was gonna be doing the Bible study would have to pray. So it was my night to lead the Bible study, and I started praying. But as I started praying, I just started crying uncontrollably. And I told the people at the table, this is about 6 months before 9/11 happened. I said, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm crying like this. I don't know I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why. And so I didn't think anything else about it. And then, 6 months later, I was at a different job because that company had to lay people off, and I got laid off. But I had started another job about 2 weeks before 9/11. In fact, the day that I report, it was a company that I had worked at before, and they had rehired me. I, the day that I, the first day that I came back to work was 9/11, and I remember I was walking through the factory. It's a chemical factory, and there was some. I heard people making jokes, what I thought was jokes about the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. I'm like, what are they talking about? I thought they was making a joke about it. And so my wife, she called me on the cell phone. She said, "Oh, did you hear about the?" She said, "Oh, whoa, another one just hit." I said, "What? What are you talking about?" She said, "America's under attack." She said, "Yeah, they attacked the First World Trade Center. They attacking the second one. They attacked the Pentagon." I'm like, "What's going on?" So I was at work because we couldn't stop and watch TV. But that night when I got home, I watched it, and they was showing the people jumping out the buildings, one of the towers, and I just started crying, just like I had 6 months ago. I said, "Oh, y'all was trying to prepare, let me know something's gonna happen," and that's what it was, because when they was telling the stories, I was like, "Oh man, I got that same feeling that I had when." I was praying in the lunchroom at that time. Yeah, I was just trying to give me a feeling of what it was going to be like. Now we know, well, at least I believe that it wasn't Osama bin Laden. I don't believe that. I believe it was nefarious groups that had something to do with the World Trade Center, the Pentagon attacks, and all that stuff. That's what I believe. But nevertheless, the people dying was real. It was, tragic, and uh, whatever's getting ready to happen, I believe that the Most High Yah is going to increase our awareness of these things. This is one reason why I also believe that they're going to have to shut down the internet. They're going to have to shut down all this stuff because this stuff is making more people aware. This is why we're going to have to know how to operate. I think I made some videos several months ago about how to operate in the end times. When you get a chance, go watch that video, and I think it'll be some good information to help you spiritually. Now, as for how it's going to you're gonna operate, like with survival and all that stuff. To be truthful, I was in the military. I think I can handle myself in any kind of environment. But I'm believing that whatever's gonna happen is gonna be so horrific that no matter what amount of preparation that you have, it's gonna you're gonna have to have a strong faith in the Most High Yah, because look at the people in the Bahamas. Just think about, though, if you was a prepper in the Bahamas, when that Hurricane Dorian came and sat over their Bacchus Island for 2 days, it pretty much flattened and washed everything away. If you had prepped and had guns and generators, it probably would have got washed away. Not to say that it's a bad thing, but I'm saying I think that's what kind of time period we're going into. We're going into that, and we know there have been periods like that. The Dark Ages were somewhat like that, or whatever, where it was just total lawlessness and things like that. What I'm saying, these are going to be the final times of lawlessness, because the man of lawlessness, or the final man of lawlessness, is 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 going to try to rise up. or at least the final one of them. And so you we gotta really have a strong foundation in uh, Yah and the Son Yeshua, and be filled with the Spirit if we're gonna make it through the times that we get ready to go into. And prayer, knowing how to pray, knowing how to listen, um, knowing how to guard your your testimony. Guard your testimony. Your testimony is your life, because you gotta be ready to be the battle axe in the hands of the Most High Yah, spiritually. That is spiritually, to bring down these principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places. Those spiritual wickedness, we need to start making lists of these people, just like they make lists of believers that they know are effective and given to witch carvings, to start praying against these people. This stuff is real. I faced, or at least I know me and my family, my wife, and then myself, and some people that of the church that we was in when we was stationed upstate New York. We were dealing with witchcraft attacks. Listen to me, this stuff is real. We found out while after we had been there, I was stationed up there, that they had witch carvings up in the area where we was at, that was praying against the Christian churches that were up in there. And I remember my son was going to this elementary school there, and one day when he came home, he had a plastic bag, and I came home and my wife screamed, said, "Ah, snake!" I said, "Ain't no snakes here in New York." And what had happened was somebody had put a plastic snake in my son's bag. I don't know what that was about. So she said, "Get it out of here." So I took it and I threw it in the back woods behind the housing area where we was at. And one of my sons, he was little, but he saw me throw it. So every day he said, "Daddy, snake, snake, the snake. Daddy, the snake." I said, "Son, that's not real." Well, to make a long story short, little did I know that our family was gonna come under a horrific spiritual attack that almost destroyed me and my family. Literally, I'm telling you, that I believe now that there was a satanic attack. I believe that snake, they had put some kind of prayed some kind of thing on it, and it came in my house, and me not really still being young and dealing with spiritual warfare. If I had known what I had known, I would have concentrated my prayers. Well, Yah wants us to flip that. And once we start finding the names of these people and things, we got to start calling them out by name in prayer. Like, I'm going to go find out the names of Amagaiga's lawyers, defense lawyers, and pray that Yah confuse their strategy to defend her, so that she can get the just sentence that she's supposed to. She got to get the just sentence. I'm not asking for her to get an unjust sentence. We know that she killed that man wickedly, and that if we don't, the system which is made for them will allow her to go, and our brother won't get no justice. So we would pray that Yah would confound, just like David with Ahithophel. He was giving advice to David's son Absalom, and David prayed, said, "Yah, please confound the counsel of Ahithophel that he's given to my son." And And Yah did that and confounded it so much that Ahithophel went and committed suicide. See what I'm saying? So we had to be like David when he said, "Yah, teach my hands how to war." Well, we know that we don't have enough guns and rockets. We don't have our own armor, but we can war in the spirit. Yah wants to get us back to that. See, for years we've been distracted on how to pray. We've been praying for things that they want us to pray, but we gotta start praying for things of righteousness, of what we know is right, and Yah will do it. He's doing it already. So um, uh, the Amagaiger trial, the Iran situation with them with the oil fields being blown up. I said the recession. We gotta be prepared for the recession that's gonna come, because when the recession comes, you know the Bible talks about the mark. You know if everything is gonna be controlled out of these warehouses and stuff like that, I don't believe that there's gonna be a forced taking of the mark. I believe it's gonna be voluntary, because it's gonna be like either you get it or you're not able to buy or sell. So just like Yah has his angels right now marking all his people for preservation, the the devil wants to mark all his people. He's gonna bring out. We already see that real ID thing here in North Carolina, where you're gonna have to have the star on the driver's license. Now I believe, I mean, it's not. They're gonna make it not as serious, but I'm saying they testing a lot of stuff out. The devil wants to mark, and this is nothing new. He wants to mark all his people. He wants to, and it's also it's gonna make sense if we have great economic situation where they have to, a lot of the big box stores are closing down or whatever, where they can control the distribution of the Amazon warehouses and the Walmarts, which are gonna probably be some of the few, big food corporations and stuff, because Amazon owns Whole Food, and they distribute a lot of prepackaged food. They're gonna be the ones that's gonna be probably, when this thing comes down, before y'all totally destroys this Egypt, Babylon here, but they're gonna be controlling the distribution out of food, but it's gonna be controlled digitally and by you being in that system with the mark, which they will also use to help gather their army that they're gonna try to bring and send into the Middle East to fight against Yeshua when he comes. And I believe this stuff is gonna happen really fast. Uh, we know in part, we prophesy in part. We know we got different theories all over the place about what the end time's gonna be: amillennialism, premillennialism, postmillennialism. I'm thinking that Most High Yah, as we get closer, he's gonna reveal it to his saints, to his elect. He's gonna reveal it to us. I really believe that. But if they cut the internet and stuff off, it's not gonna be revealed through you watching the internet program. It's gonna be in the spirit, through his word, and he's gonna reveal it. And like I said in one of my videos, there's gonna be an increase in angelic visitation, I believe. Not maybe where you will actually know that the person is talking to you is an angel, but nevertheless, the Bible says that we entertain angels sometimes unawares, that the angel will be like, hey, you heard about that road down there, that it's dangerous to go down that road, that maybe it's such and such. Maybe at that road they got a checkpoint where they doing certain things to grab up certain people, and so that angel's just throwing shade on that. You don't know it's an angel, but you think it's just a person that got inside information, and he actually is trying to guide you with, because the Bible said, are they not ministers that guide us to the path of salvation? Well, we know salvation to us who are, we know we're insured, but that salvation to us as Hebrews, as black people, is salvation, meaning that we're gonna physically be able to get out of this Babylon before Yah destroys it, and go into a safe place and go back to our land. Well, I think that's what it's gonna start happening. Yah is gonna do great exploits through us and through his angelic, just like when Daniel was praying, what happened to Angel Gabriel came and he said, you know what, I had to fight against the prince of Persia, and when I go back, I'm gonna have to fight against the prince of Grecia. Right now, angelic forces are battling right now to clear pathways for us ahead of time. I believe that they're moving different principalities and stuff out of the way at behest of our prayers. That's why we got bombarded the heavenlies. Individually, we need to individually. It's good that we collectively, but the day is gonna come when you might be by yourself, or it might be actually 2 or 3 of you together, that we learn how to be almost like the special forces. Everyone gotta be able to live off the grid and pray off the grid, meaning you don't have your collective group that you're gonna be strong in prayer. You know, we got build up that prayer arsenal. Um, and remember, also, I believe that the decentralization is the strength, because Yah said he want this thing to spread out, not for us just to be this big massive. We can't go back to the same model that the Christian church had with the mega churches. We can't do that. This is going to destroy us. Think about what happened after Yeshua had his ascension. He told them to go out and preach, and they instead stayed in Jerusalem and tried to build up and actually Jerusalem was the first type of Rome, and Yah didn't want a Rome. He wanted it to spread out to the 4 points, to the 4 points of the earth with the message, not in one big cathedral. But we can't make that mistake, because there's black Hebrews that are Muslims that need to hear this message one-on-one. And if they take the internet down, we're going to have to physically be there. Physically. One-on-one. And being filled with the Spirit. Look at Philip going out to the desert place and was able to engage that very important individual, the Ethiopian eunuch. All right? So the recession, the Iran conflict possibly, and the trial. I think these are some things that we need to pay close attention to. There's many more, but for right now, I'm believing that, you know, we should keep our eye on those things and the surrounding things. We should also, like I said, build up our individual prayer life. I'm telling you, that's one of the things that the Christian church, it was good at having Wednesday night Bible study and everything, but then, you know, they always would tell you to pray, but because the churches back at that time were trying to build up, they was having so many services and trying to create so much revenue and everything, that they kept you in the church building so much that you didn't have no time to be home to build up your own individual prayer life, because they wanted to center your life around a building. If the awakening devolves into people devolving into all conferences all the time, and on top of the like I said, the feasts, which are shadows. Now that Yeshua is here, and you know, I think some of the groups are starting to find out, yeah, these things are good for us to know, but we gotta get our people, make sure that these our people say, I think that's the right direction you need to go in, and also individually help getting the people, self sufficient, equipped, equipping the people, not getting followers, not getting fanatics, fans to follow after these people that are putting themselves up as whatever leaders, and we need to get rid of the titles things, because I can see the Christian church, and like I said before, and I'm getting ready to end this video. If we start falling straight in back into the same things that we did when we was in the Christian church, I believe y'all he could tack on another 400 years if we not careful. If we don't handle this thing right, like I said, we've had several opportunities. We had the opportunities right after slavery. We had opportunities, like during the Black Wall Street, era when it was blacks was rising economically. We had opportunity at the beginning of the civil rights movement, but that devolved off into all kinds of other crazy things. We had opportunity, I believe, in the '80s with a lot of young people around the time me and my wife were saved that passed us. Now we got this awakening here. I believe this is this in the significance of the 400 years is this is the opportunity. This is the move. It's got to be from this point on, and gotta grab hold. Gotta hold on, because I believe if not, we're gonna be like the ship that's tied to the dock, and the rope is about to come loose, and the ship is gonna drift off without the passengers in it. We gotta make sure we anchor this thing and tie it in tight this time, where the ship won't leave without us on it. You understand? Because this is it. Y'all is you can tell that there is something going on. People are asking too many questions. Black people everywhere are saying things can't continue to go on the way they is, and if we don't if we don't operate in the power of the Most High Yah, you got comedic people, you got people getting into witchcraft and everything to tap into the power, the marine spirits and all that stuff that will gladly come in and scoop the people up, because black people all around the world want to be in power, and it's important that we, through the power of the Holy Ruach, start demonstrating in power and signs and wonders to let them know that Yah is real. All right. So that's this is some things that I observed that I think you would be um, you know interested in going and studying. So be blessed.